Okay, before you start, you want to make sure you have everything's ready. First is a pair of gloves. Some towels that you don't care about, it will get dirty. And the skin protector normally is a Vaseline, so you don't get stain. A bowl and a tint brush. Of course, hair color and peroxide. If you get it from me, basically all these except for the towels will come with it. So I will send you a bowl and a brush and hair color, of course, gloves and some Vaseline in case you don't have it, but you have to get your own towels. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to mix your hair color. After you open your box of color, you're going to see a tube just like this, and each tube is about 3 ounces, and you do not need all 3 ounces. And if you turn to the size of the tube, it will show you there's some measurement. And what you need to do is you need to squeeze your product out all the way to right here, which is 2 ounces. Okay, and you will have a peroxide that I already prepared for you, which is also a 2 ounces. And that is what you do. You first squeeze out your product, which is the hair color, all the way down to about right there, right here, which is going to give you about 2 ounces. And this whole thing that I prepared for you is also 2 ounces. So you open it up and then you dump the whole thing in there. Whole thing. Okay? And then after that, make sure you put your gloves on so you don't get your hands dirty. And you just mix it really well. So every time when you apply hair color, when you're getting the product on your brush, it's really important to only get the product at the tip of your brush, just like this. So after that, you want to make sure your gloves are on, okay? And you are pretty much ready. Oh, one more thing. So you want to make sure you're wearing something that you don't care, like a dirty t-shirt. You only get your product on the brush just like this, just a little bit. You hold your hair back and then you start applying just at the root, like where you need it. Normally when you have gray hair, you only need it on the very root of your hair. And you just literally tapped it on, just like that. Just like that, okay? And you section it. See how the tail of the brush is like this, and you can actually take a very nice section of the hair. And you get only a little product at the tip of the brush, and you're going to just apply it like that. And then you take another section just like that, and you separate it really nicely, and you put it on just like that. See? It's actually not that difficult. Again, if you master of doing this later on, and you can get a job at my salon. And one thing I think is really important is I will not recommend you to ask someone at home, like your husband or your roommates, to do it for you. Before, a long time ago, I will totally suggest to ask for help. And I realized that if they don't do a good job, and it's going to really cause a relationship breakup. If you're ready for divorce, it's actually a very good time to do this and ask your husband to do your hair color. Because if there's anything goes wrong with this, then you guys are going to fight. So I totally, strongly recommend you do not ask anyone to do it for you, just in case. Okay, here are some tips for you. First, you do not want to ask anyone to help you for this, especially your husband or your roommate, because in case that anything goes wrong, it's going to cause a big fight and it's really not worth it. Second, you want to make sure you wear something like this, the t-shirt that you don't care. Third is you want to make sure your brush, your application is really nice and clean, and try to do it as clean as possible. And so otherwise it's going to get all over the place and it's going to ruin your color. One more thing is, if you are a blonde and you have a lot of beautiful highlights already, you just want to touch up your roots a little bit, before you jump into the shower, put conditioner on the very tips of your hair so that the hair color doesn't darken your highlight. So your highlight will stay beautiful. If you guys need me to create a hair color to go kits for you, please text me or call me and we will get it shipped to you. Remember, stay positive and be safe.